No, I don't think it's going to be over in the next few weeks. Rather, you're talking of the next 2 months or so. Because he was appointed, I was sworn in
November.
On the 10th
of November.
So he has 10th of December as 1 month, 10th of January as 2 months, and then 10th of February as is 3 months.
That's why I said
so that's why I'm saying within this
few
period,
weeks in the new year.
Yes. Yes, we'll be in the new year, yes, 2 months into the new year. Now, like I said, I understand with Nigerians, the proper thing would have been for the presidency to send his name to the Senate for confirmation, as stated in section 231, subsection 1. But since that didn't happen, and as I said, there's also no law forcing the president to do that. The president has his reasons, and the presidency is not compelled to do that. But
don't you think, sorry to cut you there, Professor Gidado, don't you think that the presidency should by now let Nigerians know what reason or reasons they have for this delay?
Like I said, it is only if the presidency is under any compulsion by the law that the president can decide to state the reason why. But not to worry, it is not as if the 3 months is expiring next week. So right now the onus is on the presidency and the executive to ensure that this substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria is either the present acting CJN is confirmed, or you let Nigerians know why he cannot be confirmed. At least they have set the ball rolling. They have no way of running out of that jacket.
You know, how does it feel? You're a professor of law and you're also a senior advocate of Nigeria, a very privileged one at that. Let's look at the argument. How does it feel to you personally when you hear even lawyers talk about the ethnic card, saying perhaps it's just because Justice Onoga is from the southern part of the country, that's why we're getting to see this delay, because historically, till this moment, we haven't seen any of such delay. So we're setting a precedent.
I can understand with my colleagues and other Nigerians, feeling in that light. But the thing is this. Now, the law says, or the Constitution says, the president shall appoint the most senior among the justices of the Supreme Court in the event that no substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria is put in place in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. Now, if there was any motive, the president ought to have come out to tell Nigerians why he couldn't send his name to the Senate. But be that as it may, having understood that that name has not been sent, he had to abide by the provisions of the Constitution. The issue of ethnicity, doesn't actually come into play right there. Because even if there was any skeleton, in the cupboard of the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, that the presidency would have taken steps to see that whatever was it that is making them not to confirm, not to send his name for confirmation, open for Nigerians to know. Otherwise, I don't want to be dragged into the issue of ethnicity at this stage, because no allegation has been leveled against His Lordship, the CJN, and he is acting in an acting capacity at present, and the Nigerians are watching, at least and counting the days. Once it gets closer to the 3 months, with the difficulty involved, because as subsection 5 says, except this recommendation, except upon a recommendation by this agency, the appointment of any acting Chief Justice of Nigeria cannot go beyond 3 months.
And what happens
and after the expiration of these 3 months?
Sorry to cut you again.
The president
what happens?
Reappoint.
Does it? I'm happy you just hit it there. What happens after 3 months his name is not sent to the Senate? What happens then? We get another.
No, then the onus now lies on the executive to come out and tell Nigerians why you cannot confirm him.
So in his acting capacity, does this by any way demean or reduce his powers as CJN?
It doesn't. He performs all functions of the office of the CJN, that's the Chief Justice of Nigeria, in that acting capacity. It doesn't incapacitate him. It doesn't also reduce his powers. And it's not as if there are certain things the CJN can do. Within these 3 months, he acts and does whatever the Chief Justice of Nigeria does.
Before I let you off, if you were to give some kind of legal advice to the presidency or to the president on this very matter, because I've been looking at the section 2314, which you highlighted, looking at what would amount to anyone coming in acting capacity, what would be your advice to the president?
My advice to the president would be to go strictly by the provisions of the Constitution, and also to ensure that there is a smooth transition from the office of the ex-Chief Justice of Nigeria, having left office. He's now functions official, and a new Chief Justice of Nigeria ought to have been in place, going by the provisions of the Constitution. And he should save Nigerians this act of agony, the agony of going through why is the Chief Justice, a substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria, not in place. What is the reason? And I can understand with those who would bring in this ethnic card, and they would be right. So to avoid all this, my advice to Mr. President would be to take the bull by the horns, and if he knows actually there is nothing stopping the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria from being confirmed, is for him to go ahead and submit his name as soon as Senate resumes on the 10th of January, so that this matter can be laid to rest. Otherwise, the speculations will not end, and all sorts of reasons can now be brought in, even outside ethnic considerations.
Professor Maxwell Gidado, you've been awesome on the program today. Many thanks for spending time with us. We really appreciate you. We'll take a moment here on Politics Today, and we'll be back shortly.